Dude, we're like a thrift store that hosts live music and has a podcast studio.
Yeah. What if we recorded the live performances and then brought the artists in here and did a kind of behind the mic interview?
Yeah, so you could like discover new local music and then learn a little something about the people who make it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna push all my feelings to the side. Get dressed up, I'ma catch a super.
I've been performing for a long time now.
Have you really?
Yeah, since I was 7 years old. My uncle made me. He would have me. I used to go to this church that he would play at. He said, "This is the song you're gonna sing, and this is what you're gonna do." And I was gonna like, okay, you know. So he put me out there, and I've done it. And ever since then, it's just what I've been doing. I feel like there were more opportunities here than over in California.
Okay.
I mean, because when you're over there, there's so many people,
Saturated.
so many performances. Yeah, and like you have to fight to be heard. And I feel like over here, there's more of an opportunity for people to hear you and see who you are. So.
It's a celebration.
My first performance outside of the church was at my middle school talent show.
Okay.
I sang "Forget You" by CeeLo Green.
All right.
I had these shades on, and you know the part when he's like, "I got this change in my pocket." I had some change in my pocket. Actually, when I threw
fantastic. That's fantastic.
And I was so nervous, but like everyone loved it. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" And so I was like, "Okay, let me continue."
Back to the front. Something, it's just a little soul clap, something simple, and I'd love for y'all to participate on the clap. It's really easy. You're gonna take your hands, and it's gonna sound like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y'all turn, you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see y'all clapping, but no one's counting. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sing it in. Hey. We in the club, no feelings inside. We got the bottles on deck, trying to have a good time. But a couple baddies here ready to rock. So all the people with the paper, come and give it a try. You better hop back into it. Hey. Throw it in a circle. Bounce it, dip it, pop it. Work it in the middle. You better hop back into it and just throw it in a circle. Bounce it, dip it, pop it. Better work it in the middle. Thank you.
I'm here with Jamogi Bridges. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to sit down and chat with me.
Of course. Thank you for having me here.
Very exciting day because you are going to perform like right back there.
Right outside in the summer heat.
It's not too hot yet, but it's looking like it might get a little hot. It was definitely sweltering yesterday.
Woo! Tell me about it.
Yeah.
We had a performance yesterday at Crow's Coffee, and the setup time, I was just sweating, carrying a keyboard. Everyone else was sweating, carrying the drums and everything.
I
bet.
bet.
We need to hurry up and get inside and drink some water.
Which Crows was it at?
The one on Waldo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're inside?
Luckily,
Yes.
and thankfully.
Yeah. Well, we put you out in the heat today in the parking lot.
I know, so got to work twice as hard.
Hey, free water. Free water.
Water. I mean, that's why I stay hydrated.
That's right. Well, Jamogi, I saw you maybe a month or two ago. I don't know. So earlier this summer, we were at Art Garden down at Berkeley Riverfront Park.
Yes.
And they had gotten into like the karaoke version of the afternoon after the organized music had ended.
Yes.
And you hopped on. And I was like, okay, this guy's way better than the other karaoke. And it turns out, oh wait, he's actually a performer.
Yes, that's true. That is true. I've been performing for a long time now.
Have you really?
Yeah, since I was 7 years old. So.
Shut up.
No, really. Like the first.
So how long
time-
is that? Not to age you out you, but
Well, I'm 24 and proud to voice it. So ever since then, I've been performing. My uncle made me. He would have me. I used to go to this church that he would play at.
Here in town?
No, No, it was actually in California because that's where I'm originally from. And he said, "This is the song you're gonna sing, and this is what you're gonna do." And I was kind of like, okay, you know. So he put me out there, and I've done it. And ever since then, it's just what I've been doing. So.
Okay. So 7 years. Where in California?
Long Beach, California.
And when did you end up here?
Ooh, it was sometime a couple years ago. It was like during the winter when I moved here.
Was it during COVID or after COVID?
It was like before, slightly before
Okay,
COVID.
before.
Yeah. And
I don't know if that was like, for some reason in my head, I was like, oh, you got to see Kansas City before COVID. I don't know if it was that much better or different. I don't remember anymore.
I try to wipe that out. It feels like it doesn't even exist anymore to
Yeah,
me.
fair. Let's
That
just
was when
move-
life was on pause.
Yeah, well, we're back in. Life's back on.
Life's back
So
on.
what brought you to Kansas City?
So family. So
Okay.
my family moved here. It's much cheaper here than out in California.
Go figure.
Woo! Like gas. Imagine paying like $6-9 for gas. Like it's not the move.
Yeah.
And then after that, I feel like there were more opportunities here than over in California.
Okay.
I mean, because when you're over there, there's so many people,
Saturated.
so many performances. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you have to fight to be heard. And I feel like over here, there's more of an opportunity for people to hear you and see who
Interesting.
you are. So
Well, tell me what it's been like performing here. Well, let me back up, actually.
Okay.
How do you, what's your first performance outside of the church? Because you said you started there with your uncle, right?
yes. So my first performance outside of the church was at my middle school talent show.
Okay.
I sang "Forget You" by CeeLo Green.
All right.
I had these shades on, and you know the part when he's like, "I got this change in my pocket." I had some change in my pocket actually,
Oh,
and I
that's
threw it.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
And I was so nervous, but like everyone loved it. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" And so I was like, "Okay, let me continue."
You afraid you're going to get in trouble for throwing change?
No, I mean
Okay.
like I didn't cuss or anything, so I didn't see anything that I would get in trouble for.
Okay, all right. And so what's your goal with music? Is it something that you aspire to like make a real career out of and go big, or is it something you do for fun, or what role does it play in your life?
I do aspire to go big, but I also enjoy helping other artists as well, especially when it comes to stage production and enhancing performances. And also, like, I really enjoy the marketing aspect of it as well. Like, when I had my project, I had a whole marketing plan that I had. And so when you think about it, when it comes to music, most music is promoted just for like a month and then it slowly starts dying out. And then
Yeah.
artists tend to forget about it and move on to the next thing. I've been trying to like have my marketing plan go on for so longer than 3 months. And so far it's working. So like I put out my EP Age of Aquarius in March, and here I am to this day still promoting it. And then I have, this is the performance part of it now, of promotion.
Yep.
And so yeah, and then getting ready for the next thing.
So what is the cycle for a local musician then? So like at what point are you making new music? What point are you recording it? And what point are you promoting it? So you're in the promotion cycle now.
I'm in the promotion cycle while also making it as well.
Okay.
And the challenging part is balancing, because you have so many performances, and that means rehearsals as well.
How often do you perform?
So I honestly don't know anymore, because so many like people have been asking, hey,
All right,
can you
last
perform here?
week, how many times have you performed?
I think just twice. Just twice. And so
Is that a light week for you? Heavy week? What is that?
I feel like it's a light week, and I have to remember that it's not just me on stage, because I have a full band with me.
Yeah.
So I try to take in consideration with their schedule as well.
Yeah.
And so we rehearse, and like we rehearse for 3 hours, like almost every week.
Wow.
And so I tell them, I think one thing that they're like, ugh, is when they mess up, they're like, oh, let's start it over. That wasn't right.
Yeah.
And then we'll break it down, and it's like, all right, let's go back from the top. Let's run it 5 times. I'll help count the first 3 times. The last 2 times I will not sing. You all have to be able to memorize it without me being there.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps them on their toes and making sure that they're on point with the music as much as I am as well.
You sound very organized.
Thank you. I try to be.
Yeah, I can see you take pride in it. How did you meet your band members? How did you put it together?
That was tough. Let's see. So Tanner, who is my bassist, he runs the Garden, and I met him through this open mic session.
Is it the Garden? Is that the backyard stage garden?
Backyard stage.
Okay, so tell me more about this, because I've really only seen it on Instagram, and I like feel like there should be a news story that I could like click on, like a visual Wikipedia, and I haven't seen that yet. So tell me what this is.
So the Garden is kind of like, it's a platform for independent artists to come out and perform their music.
And in
give
somebody's
them a chance.
house.
At somebody's house, in their backyard.
Where is this?
This is on like Campbell Street, but you have to DM Tanner to know.
So like Midtown, like 20s in Campbell, 30s?
20s.
20s, okay.
In the 20s, and you come up there. There's multiple acts as well, so you have your time slot, and then that they keep on going about till 10 p.m. So from 5 to 10.
Is it once a week?
Once a month.
Once a month.
And they have a theme every time.
Okay.
So this month is the pool party theme. The last month that I did was the light up the night. So
Okay.
4th of July, we had fireworks at the end of the set as well.
Yeah.
Incredible. If you missed it, I'm so sorry, but that's why you got to follow to keep up.
There you go. And how many people, like, how many performers each night, and how many people would you guess are there?
Ooh, that's tough. I want to say it's about 5 to 7 performers.
Okay.
And then after that, when it comes to audience, it depends on
Yeah.
how well it's promoted and also
Sure.
how the artist promotes it as well.
Boy, do I know how that works.
Yes, it's a lot. But the night that we were there, it was a pretty big show. There were like 40, 50 people.
What happens if somebody needs to go to the bathroom? Do they just go use this person's bathroom?
They use that person's bathroom. That's a lot of trust.
Yes, it is, right? Like, hopefully it's at least a 2 bathroom. You got to have your own toilet.
I've only seen one.
Hopefully there's one upstairs or somewhere. You know, that's a lot. That's a commitment to the community, right there.
Very much so.
Okay, so the guy that runs that is in your band.
Yes. Then after that we have Micah Cotton, who I'm known for a while. He's a drummer. He's 20 years old, and he's insanely talented. So glad, like, we met through this choir a while back, and then after that, I was like, I'm gonna put him in my memory box. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, this is what I'm planning to do, and this is what it looks like, what rehearsals look like. And I gave him the whole layout of what the vision is for performances, and he was like, I'm down. So he's in there. Z underscores one of the background vocalists.
Yeah.
Yes, she's performed here.
She's
Incredible.
great. Yeah.
Noye is another. She's a fashion
This is
designer.
quite the ensemble. I'm very excited. I literally thought it was just you.
No.
Because when I saw you at Art Garden, it was just you.
Right. And so I have a band now. So
Oh, this is exciting.
It's a full band. So there's originally there's 4 background vocalists. Today there's only going to be 2 because the other 2 have their engagements that they have.
Sure, of course.
And then we have 2 trumpet. I have 1 trumpet player, 1 saxophonist. Alex is the saxophonist. He goes to UMKC. Luke is the trumpet player. He's from UMKC as well.
So is this Facebook? How are you How are you finding all these people? Is this ad somewhere?
You just go places. You connect.
You get into
you
the
network.
community and then you find people.
Exactly. If you want
Okay.
it bad enough, you got to go and get it.
I love that. This is fantastic. So
Thank you.
how would you describe your music and the stuff that you guys make?
So in terms of my project, it's currently around the dance pop R&B realm, because each song on there is a single for other projects. So for example, I have the song Celebration that's on there. That's gonna be Celebration is the lead single for another project that's about to come out. Same thing with the other song Blackout and Star-Crossed Lover, and they're all slightly different genres, but they still fall under the dance category.
Okay.
So I'm kind of challenging myself with different sounds and different genres as well.
Yeah.
And when it comes to live performances, I like to mix it up, and I get that inspiration from Tank and the Bangas, because whenever they perform, you never know what you're gonna get. And so I like that, the element of surprise,
Yeah.
but then you're also arranging and you're keeping people on their toes. And so it makes them want to come out and see you, because it's like, well, the song sounded like this last time, but he's performing again, and I know it's different. You know, just kind of a little bit of marketing, a little bit of fun creativity.
And tell me about Age of Aquarius. What about the name? Are you an Aquarius?
I am an Aquarius.
So am I.
February 7th. What?
January 24th.
Oh, January Aquarius and a February Aquarius.
I don't know what that means. I know nothing about astrology, so you have to tell me what that means. I don't know what that. What are the general hallmarks of Aquarius that I should be aware of?
So I'm not deep into astrology. I just know the basics.
Okay.
So Aquarius are the unique individuals. They're very creative. They like to think things a lot. They're very much thinkers, and they're always 1 or 2 steps ahead of things, but then people see them as slightly awkward or weird, but that's just part of their quirks,
This adds up.
Yeah.
This adds up.
But people never catch on until later on. So we're always ahead of the game, which is a blessing and a curse.
This is a very complimentary summary, and I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, because
Yeah.
right then and there, people are like, what? But then later on, it's like,
Oh, now I got you.
Exactly. So Age of Aquarius is about like the new beginning.
I'm just gonna save that as like a meme, and then when somebody's like questioning what I'm saying, be like, "You'll get it.
You'll get it later.
You'll get it." Very cool. Well, what's coming up for you guys? Where can people follow you, and like where can people check out your music?
So what's next is we're performing at the Ship on August 26th.
Love that.
And we're with the Crossroads Music Fest, and so that's where you can find us. I do have an Instagram, which is jamogi.bridges. That's JAMOGI.bridges. And if you scroll through my social media, you'll also find the other band members and their Instagram handles as well.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Where do you like to perform most in Kansas City? Like, give me like a nightmare story, and like what's the best, like the worst place to perform? Let's hope it's not my parking lot, but you haven't played here yet, so you can't say that. But like, what's the best place to perform? Where do you really like performing in Kansas City?
When it comes to the worst, I wouldn't say. I don't know if I have any yet. I think
what makes a bad one.
I would say what makes it really challenging is when the proper equipment isn't there.
Yep.
And so when it's like just a little box where the audio and the music comes out of, it makes it challenging. You still have to do what you have to do, but it's kind of like, and I like to move around a lot when I'm performing.
Sure.
And so when I'm stuck with like a mic, a wired mic, it's like, oh shoot, I can't move as far.
Sure.
So that's challenging.
Yeah.
But my favorite places during the summer, indoor places are my favorite.
During the winter, indoor places also your favorite.
Indoor places. And honestly, I don't know yet. So far, every other place that I performed seems to be like my favorite and like so fun. But one day I wish that and I'm hoping that one day I get to perform for Kaufman Future Stages and sometime at the Midland Theater. Like
That's
those
fantastic.
are my top two goals. And I want to be so like well known where it's like, they'll be like, hey, like, would you be open to performing here?
Yeah, you want them to come to you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still ask. I'll still like, hey, like, can you? But, you know, I want to make sure that I have a strong foundation so that way when if I do have to ask, it's automatically like oh my gosh, yes, thank you for asking.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Jamogi, I really appreciate you having a few minutes and coming to perform in our parking lot. It means the world to us. Please drink a lot of Sprite and Diet Cokes and beers and waters so that you feel welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.